Testing 1, 2, 3. Are we live yet? What's going on? Receiving content. I think we are live, folks. I think we are. But it's hard to tell. So I'm going to have to wait for you guys to let me know if I'm actually live or not. Let me know if you're seeing anything, what you're seeing. Drop the comments down below. Get them going. It's my second live stream. Obviously, last week I did one, and it was, let me tell you, a nerve-wracking experience. And I think they're a really kind of good way to kind of do question and answers. Like I could do Q&As with doing like normal videos and stuff, but I kind of prefer to do it this way, so you guys can kind of ask me anything you want. Hey, big shout out to, oh my god, another Jack. How are you doing, son? I hope you're doing well. I really love your vlogs, by the way. I think you're doing really good work there, and keep them going. If anybody has not seen Jack's vlogs from Vlogmas, go and check them out down in the comments and watch his videos, because they're really great, and it's really cool to see another vlogger from here in Edinburgh. Yeah, the Guarana party has started. Yeah, it's pretty late. I did it. The reason I'm doing this kind of live stream quite late is I'm trying to accommodate all the regions that could be watching. So 10 p.m. here in the UK is still about doable for most people who are here, but actually it also lets people in Brazil and America, North America, watch as well, because it's probably going to be late afternoon for most of you guys. What time is it where you guys are watching? Let me know. Right here in the UK, as I say, it's 10 p.m. Yeah, Jack, we need to do a meetup really soon. Let's do some videos together. It's really cool to have I kind of feel like I've been vlogging alone from Edinburgh for the last wee while, and I've not really came across any other kind of vloggers from here, so it's really good to see you doing what you're doing, and I think we could definitely vlog together quite a lot, because we seem to have quite a lot of common and stuff. We seem to have quite a lot in common, rather. But yeah, so the questions are starting to flow in already. Somebody is asking me when I'm going back to Brazil. Well, it's quite a tricky question. I don't know at this exact moment when we're going back, but it will be soon. We will be going back to Brazil next year at some point, but whether that's on a permanent basis or not, I don't know, because as I have explained this week, I'm kind of doing a kind of full-time contract here in Edinburgh right now with work, so it's quite difficult for me to say exactly when I will be back in Brazil, but I will be back, because obviously I have such big connections to Brazil. Brazil is like my second home. Edinburgh is my home, and also Brazil is my other home. So yeah, I will be back. I just don't know when, but I will be doing vlogs from Brazil soon again. And you know, I've got quite a few vlogs on my channel that have kind of been stored up over time from Brazil, like at least 100 of them. And if any of you, if you want to see what I got up to in Brazil, like go back and check them out. I know they're quite old. They're like from last year, and some from this year as well, but there's some quite interesting content there. I mean, I was using basic cameras, so like it wasn't as good as the kind of camera gear that I'm doing, the kind of camera gear that I'm using now. But yeah, go and check it out. Actually, I'm going to do another series about Brazil on my channel really soon, talking about Brazil every week, and I think you guys are going to enjoy that. I will tell you more about that. In fact, you'll probably see more about that tomorrow, if my plan comes together, either tomorrow or Tuesday. But I'm going to be doing more videos about Brazil. Anyway, what else have we got? Any questions you have? This is a question and answer show. I think, as I say, this is the best place to do kind of question and answer. So this is your takeover. This is you. Ask me anything you want. Like, I kind of thought about doing themes for these live videos, but actually, right now, while I'm kind of getting started out with these things, I think it's more just like to get used to it. So I'm letting you guys take it over. Like, just ask me or anything you want, and I will do my best to answer. Like about my life, about work, about studying, about I don't know what you want to ask. Anything about YouTube? I don't know. Let's talk. Thank you very much, Sandra Sani, who said you love my videos. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate all the comments you guys send in, and I read every single one of them, and I really appreciate it. So it's really cool. Wow, so we've got people who are saying that it's 11 p.m., 4 p.m. Latonia, wow, 8 p.m. in Brazil, So quite a lot of different time zones here. Have I ever been to Germany? I've never been to Germany, but next year I will be going to Germany. That is a kind of spoiler alert, if you like. I'm going to Germany next year on a bit of a adventure. I've never been before, so I'm really, really excited about that. I will let you know about that when we're going. Um, but yeah, Germany looks like an awesome place. I've got a lot of friends who have been there, and everybody says it's good. Oh, wow. So, like, this is really, really quite nerve-wracking. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you a secret, right? Last week I was doing this live stream question and answer video, right? And you might have noticed at the end, if any of you guys stayed to the end of the video, I kind of had a bit of a freak out because like I just got like overwhelmed with everything and I wasn't prepared. I didn't even have water. Like this week I have water. That's actually lemon juice. That's not water, but something to drink. So when my mouth gets dry, when my mouth gets dry from all the talking, I can have a drink. It's live. This is live, so I need to kind of keep myself uh, hydrated, if you like. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, last week when I was doing this question and answer, towards the end, I started to get heart palpitations, or my heart was fluttering and racing because I just got really nervous, and like I quit the video really, really fast. I don't know if any of you noticed that, but I was like, right, I need to stop the live question and answer now. Sorry, good night, see you later. That's what happened last week. So hopefully this week I'm more used to it and more getting into it. It's quite funny. Like I always imagined it must be a really easy job to be like a radio presenter or like a live TV presenter. But after I did this live question and answer video, it's actually not easy at all. It's like really nerve-wracking because you have to keep going, keep talking, and it's quite difficult to find all the things to talk about, which is why it's so important you guys send in the questions because that is what I'm going to feed off. And actually, you know what? I feed off the comments in every single day. Like when I get home from work and I'm looking at my YouTube channel and I think, oh, should I make another video or not? What keeps me going is seeing the comments in the videos. Like that is like oxygen for me. When I see the comments under the video, it makes me so inspired to like keep making more. So like, thank you so much for all the comments you guys do put under the videos. And yeah, it really means a lot. So please do keep on commenting. It is really, really great. And also, I need to give a shout out. I just noticed now, Scottish Geeks just said hello. Scottish Geeks is another Scottish YouTuber. He is in the comments now. Go down and check him out. He is really a gamer and he does a really really great channel. So go and check him out. He's in the comments now. Scottish Geeks. Vestibular. I'm going to ask Tekka. What's the vestibular?
It's when you like do a test to get into public university.
Yeah, vestibular. Actually, I do know. I've heard of vestibular. What is the story with that? Are you studying right now? So somebody said that they're doing. Somebody said, "Do I know about vestibular?" Yeah, I've kind of know a little bit what it is. The thing is, a vestibular is like a test that you guys do in Brazil, right? So you can get into public university. Is that right? So here in the UK, we don't really have that. It's done in a different system. So even though I understand about the vestibular, it's kind of a new concept for me. But I guess that quite a lot of you guys will be studying for that at the moment, and it's a really stressful period. I know what I'm going to say now is it's going to be a bit shocking, right? But I never went to university, and a lot of people, I think society in general and across the world, but probably more so in Brazil, expects people to go to university. But for me, I just don't agree with university. I don't think it's the way to go. So I never went. So kind of questions about studying is like, I always give advice to people to really think hard whether they should go to university or not. Because as I say, I never went and I did quite well in my professional life. Like I left school when I was 16 and started working. And actually the experience I got in the 4 or 5 years when I was really young working, when my friends were at university, I think was amazing. But I completely appreciate that a lot of you guys are studying really hard right now, and I think that's great. And keep going. It must be stressful, but good luck, and I hope you do really well. What do I miss the most? Kel Alves says, "What do I miss the most about Brazil?" Let's see. I'm trying to scroll through the comments here because they're rolling in really fast. So what do I miss most about Brazil? The thing I miss most about Brazil, this is going to sound really cliche, but the thing I miss most about Brazil is the people, my friends and family in Brazil. We have got such a really, really close, tight group of friends in Brazil, and they're amazing. They're like brothers and sisters for me and my wife, and like it's really sad that I can't see them. It's just one of those things. Um, Fabio says you used to understand my English, but now you're lost. I tell you what, Fabio, my problem is because I'm live, I'm getting really nervous. So I think what's happening is I'm speeding up. So I need to pay really close attention to that and slow down. Because I'm live, I'm not like I'm talking really, really fast and I need to slow down. So thanks for pointing that out. That's actually really useful for me because I will slow down a little bit. Jarlath Swat says, hey, from Canada, what's happening in Canada? It looks really, really snowy in Canada right now. Where in Canada are you from? Jarlath Swat, have I ever been to Germany? Yeah, like I said, I want to go to Germany. What is my favourite food? My favourite food is Brazilian fish dishes. I really live, I don't know if a lot of you guys will not have heard of this, but moqueca. Moqueca is amazing. I really, really love it. Oh, there's a great comment. What kind of music do I like? Right, now you're not going to believe me, right? But I love everything. So I have went through phases in my life. Like, actually, it's funny. Yesterday in the car, I was listening to quite a lot of rap, old school R&B, hip hop, and the kind of new stuff that's coming out now as well. And it brought me back to when I was a teenager. I used to love R&B, hip hop, rap when I was growing up. And then as I got older, when I came into my 20s, I started to enjoy a lot more like rock and roll, stuff like that. But like really kind of classic stuff like Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath, that kind of stuff. So yeah, a bit of everything, rock and roll, also house music, electronic stuff as well, like everything. Over the years, I have enjoyed dance music, R&B, hip hop, rap, rock, old classic rock, everything. And also, I really like old Brazilian music. I don't really particularly like the new stuff, like what do you call it? Popular music in Brazil,
I don't know what kind of music you're talking about.
like the farmer stuff.
Ah, sertanejo.
Sertanejo. I don't really. Sorry if I just called it sertanejo. I called it farmer stuff, but
It's
yeah,
country.
it's country music in Brazil. I don't really like that kind of stuff, but I like the old school Brazilian stuff. Like I don't know if you guys saw the video I put last week about Brazil, but I had an artist called Cartola. I really love that. I love that kind of old school Brazilian music. Shout out to Shaun Blackman, another Shaun who spells his name exactly the same as I do, and he's a vlogger. Go and check him out down in the comments. He is another really cool vlogger, so go and check out Shaun Blackman. If you're in the comments, go and hit him up. Somebody said they love my dogs. Yeah, that's really cool. I have 3 dogs here. We've got Shiloh the Cocker Spaniel, and I've got 2 sheepdogs as well. Where has come to Winchester. I'm not even sure I know where Winchester is. I used to live in London for a while, but I don't know where Winchester is. What kind of? What about acarajé? Do I miss acarajé? Yeah, man, I really miss acarajé. I like acarajé. Jack Cuttill. Jack is another Scottish vlogger from here in Scotland. Jack Cuttill, and again, he's in the comments. I'm going to be shouting a lot of you guys out, so if you leave comments, be prepared to be shouted out. Jack Cuttill is another vlogger from here in Edinburgh, actually, and I've only recently started to get to know Jack, and yeah, it's really cool that he actually lives really close to me. And he just asked, where did I grow up? I grew up right here in Edinburgh. I grew up in quite a rough working class neighbourhood called Stenhouse. Do you know where that is, Jack? Let me know. It's near Saughton Prison, and that's the kind of local reference point. And I went to Ballgreen Primary School, and that's where I grew up. Where are the weirdest bits of Scotland? Ooh, that's controversial. Weird bits of Scotland. Now, there is a joke, right? There is a joke about Aberdeen and sheep. Let's just leave it at that, right? Make up your own minds. Where's the weirdest bits of Scotland? Just think Aberdeen and sheep, right? Wow, somebody's watching from Perth in Australia. That is awesome, man. Artur says visit João Pessoa and the Brazilian state of Paraíba. I will love it. I'm sure I will love it. I've never been to João Pessoa, but I would really, really like to go there, man. It must be really beautiful. There's so many places. One of the things I love about Brazil, it's so huge that there's lots of places actually to check out. One thing I'm realizing, I need to look into the camera and not into the screen, otherwise it's going to look really weird for you guys. So yeah, actually I want to travel more and see João Pessoa. Problem is I need to read the comments which are kind of down here, so yeah. What's that? Tech is just showing me a question somebody sent.
No, someone said they should recommend you to eat Brazilian pastel.
All right.
So you
Yeah. Well.
have.
Yeah. Somebody said I should eat pastel. Pastel. I love pastel. And there's actually a video on my channel which is going viral right now. I don't know why it's going viral, but it's going viral, and it's about pastelão, huge pastels that I ate when I was in Brazil, and it was from a local. It was from a local pasteleria in Vitoria, and like this place sells pastels like that size. And I did a vlog there, and it's on my channel. Go and check it out. And yeah, I don't know why that's been a really popular video. And hello to all the new subscribers. It's really cool to have you guys here. So welcome, Graziella. Thank you very much for coming to my channel. Really appreciate that. Where am I?
How did you know your wife?
How did I know my wife? Oh, that is a long story. But basically, I went to Brazil. I'm going to do a series, right, all about my history of Brazil, my story of Brazil. So I will be explaining my life story of how I got to know Brazil, why I went there, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave that kind of comment. I'm going to leave that question for now because I want to explain it through my series. It's going to be called this. This is like a new announcement for my channel, but I'm going to make this new series, and I'm going to call it Brazil Stories, right? And it's going to go way back to when I first went to Brazil, why I went there in the first place, and kind of what happened, how I met my wife, like all my friends there, all that kind of stuff. So you will find out about my story in Brazil and my wife and all that kind of stuff pretty soon. Scott Anderson says, where else have I lived? Actually, I have lived, right, the places I've lived. When I was a kid, I was born here in Edinburgh, grew up, and then I moved to South Africa because my dad is actually from South Africa. So we went there and we stayed there for 2 years. And I don't remember it because I was like 2 or 3 years old. But apparently it's a pretty dangerous place. So my dad didn't want us to be brought up there. He preferred that we were brought up in Scotland. So we moved back to Scotland. And then I stayed in Edinburgh through all of my childhood, upbringing, teenage years and that. And then I moved to Brazil for a few years. Came back from Brazil. I moved to London. I stayed in London for 5 years. London is an awesome place, by the way, if any of you guys have never been. And then I went back to Brazil again, and now I'm back in Edinburgh. So I've lived quite a few places, but I want to live more places. Like I love traveling, I love adventure. So who knows? I could end up anywhere. And my ambition is actually to go and live in America. So just for a year or so, check it out. Do you know it's? Sorry, the comments are shit. I think I just lost the stream. Did I just lose the stream? I think it just crashed. Let me know, guys. I think the stream just went down, but anyway. Let me know. So, I think I'm back on. Live stream health. I think I might be off, guys. No? Is it still on? Tell me if it's still on. Still here. Everybody still here? Everybody still seeing? Right, okay, I'm going to get back to the wow, the comments are coming in thick and fast, man. This is awesome. Let me just try and get through them. Scottish Geeks says, is that, you sure that's a lemon juice? It's not a gin and tonic. Oh man, I wish it was a lemon tonic, but actually it is lemon juice. A squeeze. I've got, what I did with this, I got 2 different types of lemon, the yellow one and the green one. The green ones, we guys call it lime here in the UK. In Brazil, you guys call them all lemon. So yeah, I like lemon juice. It's healthy, no sugar, just pure lemon juice. Keeps you nice and hydrated as well. Do I like rugby? Someone who said that? Callum Todd asked if I like rugby. Rugby's not really like, I appreciate rugby. It's a cool sport, but it's not my thing really. My live stream keeps disappearing off my screen, which is really annoying. So hopefully you guys are seeing this, and I'm not seeing the comments anymore. Where did it go? Anyway.
It's on.
It's still on. I think it's still on. I just don't know why it keeps appearing off my screen. So anyway.
Use this one.
Yeah, so I need to follow the comments, and sometimes it's disappearing off my screen, which is really annoying. Anyway. Right, where are you guys? Let's see.
Vasco Flamengo.
Vasco or Flamengo? Oh, who said that? Vasco or Flamengo? Gabriel Oliveira asked me, Vasco or Flamengo? Right, let me just explain. For you guys who are not from Brazil, there are 2 major football teams, Vasco, Flamengo, both of them from Rio de Janeiro. And let me say, Well, when I was in Brazil, all my best friends in Brazil were from Flamengo supporters, so I kind of followed Flamengo. But then when things progressed even further, when I met my wife, and my father-in-law is a Flamengo fan as well, and my mother-in-law is a Vasco fan. So I've got a mother-in-law who's a Vasco fan and a father-in-law who's a Flamengo fan. But Flamengo, I think Flamengo is more in my heart. So just because of my friends are from there, Jack Cuttill says favorite alcoholic drink. I'm quite simple with alcohol. I like a beer. I like beer pretty much. I drink whiskey as well. Give me a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to Fran in the comments.
Let's know.
It's a friend from Brazil who is moved here to Scotland, and I really hope you're loving it here, Fran. Francine, I really hope you love your new home in Scotland. Welcome. So basically, Fran's another Brazilian who's moved to Scotland, like my wife did as well, and yeah, it's really great to have her here. So welcome to Scotland. I hope you're enjoying Glasgow. Uh, Let me see what other comments. Dennis asked me for a shout out. So Dennis, here is your shout out. There you go, man. Yeah, somebody from Brazil is understanding me perfectly. Mr. João Chaloub. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, João. But anyway, you said your grandfather is Scottish. That is amazing. You know, I've heard quite a few people has commented on my channel the last few weeks that have said that they're from Brazil. They live in Brazil, and they have a grandparent who is from Scotland. And that's like, for me, that's amazing to hear that history, because I understand that probably about 100 years ago, quite a lot of Scottish people emigrated around the world, like Canada, America, and all that kind of stuff. But actually, a lot of Scottish people went to Brazil, and they helped build the railroad system in Sao Paulo. So a lot of people in Sao Paulo, particularly, have got Scottish ancestors, and and I'm really interested in that. And it's really great to see that. Yeah, there's like kind of Scottish ancestry in Brazil. I really think that's cool. Let's see, what other comments have we got? Keep the comments coming, by the way. I'm answering them as I'm going. Uh, Another comment. Have I got any kids? Dennis asked me, have I got any kids? Hell no is the answer to that. I don't have any kids yet, but I really respect the people who have got kids. I think that's a really good hustle. But for me right now, it's just not where I'm at. You know, I like to travel. Me and my wife like to travel, like to adventure, and I don't think kids is right for us right now in this stage of our lives. But you know, never know in the future. Never say never. Let's just wait and see. Still too young for all that, hopefully. Let's see, what else have we got? I should listen to Skank. It's the best Brazilian band ever. I don't know Skank.
I used to like them.
Skank, you like Skank? Where are they from?
Minas,
So,
Belo Horizonte.
what other comments have we got? Try to learn more Portuguese. Gabriel asked me to learn more Portuguese from Brazil. I will try. I'm trying to learn Portuguese. It's difficult, but actually, I can speak Portuguese. I can. It's just difficult, and the problem is I get really shy. So maybe after a few beers, I would speak Portuguese a lot better. Just when I'm talking to like an audience like this, it's wow, it gets quite nerve-wracking to speak Brazilian Portuguese. It's like something that makes me quite anxious. But I am trying. I am learning Portuguese, and I can understand everything. Like when you guys type the comments, I can read most of it, and also when you guys speak it as well. When Brazilians are speaking, I can like join in the conversation. I can understand absolutely everything 100%. So yeah. Lindsay Blue asked me, Hearts or Hibs? Now, there's another football question, but here in Scotland there are two main teams. One of them is called Hearts, and one of them is called Hibs. They are both from Edinburgh here in Scotland. My team is Hearts. Hearts are, because I grew up in that side of town. I grew up really close to the Hearts Stadium, and my grandfather was a Hearts supporter, and that's why I support Hearts. So it's my team. So if any of you guys not from Scotland don't know about Hearts, go and check them out. Hearts, Hearts. The same as like heart, your heart. Yeah. So any other comments? What have we got? Michelle Suarez says he submitted subtitles for some of my videos. Yeah, so I have just started to allow community comments and editing of subtitles on my videos, and I'm going to let you guys do some subtitles if you want to. If anybody wants to kind of translate my my Scottish English into Portuguese, for example, you can do that now. So thank you very much, Michelle, for submitting the translations. I've not seen it yet, but I will have a look, and I really appreciate that. That's awesome that you're going to get involved. Scottish Geeks asked me, have I ever thought of trying VR to visit inhospitable places? I think VR is I don't know how the technology is going with that, man, but I'd really be interested to explore VR, virtual reality, and the headsets that are just coming out. I don't know if that will evolve into more than just games. Like, can we use it to travel and stuff like that, and to see different places? I think that would be really cool. So yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to have a look at that. Right. What comments have we got coming in now? Am I planning to go back and live and work in Brazil again? Yes, definitely one day, because like, as I say, Brazil's my second home. Most of my family and friends are there as well. So yeah, I will be back. Yeah, pure vodka. It's not pure vodka. It really is lemon juice, just lemon juice. I love lemons. My love affair with lemons started when I went to Brazil, because you guys actually have the best lemons in the world, and I started drinking a lot there, and I put them on food and everything. So, what else have we got? I'm just looking for the comments to see what else, any other things that I've not answered yet. Yeah, Barry has commented that my subscribers has shot up from 8,000 up towards 9,000. So let me explain about that. So there's a lot of new subscribers on this channel, and they've arrived over the last 3 days, literally. And what has happened is one of my videos from Brazil literally blew up, and like it's had something like 20 or 30,000 views in the last 3 days, and it's about eating pastels in Brazil. And I'm trying to work out why this video has went so crazy, but I think it's to do with the algorithm, which is kicked in for that particular video. So thousands of people have come in to watch that video and have ended up subscribing to my channel, which is amazing. And again, thank you very much to all the people who have come into my channel from that video. As I say, you'll have watched some of my videos and know that like Brazil is a big part of my life. Scotland is a big part of my life. So yeah, that's what happened. That's why my subscribers have shot up, because one of my videos just exploded. Callum Todd asked me, what do I think about Dundee? Dundee is a city in Scotland. I think it's third or fourth biggest city in Scotland. I've been there quite a few times, but usually passing through it when I drive through. But I think Dundee is a cool place. I used to spend some time down by the river there. It's quite beautiful, and I know they have. I know they've renovated the harbour there at Dundee quite a lot. So, yeah, Dundee's a cool place. I still haven't convinced one of my most favourite followers that I'm not drinking vodka. Well, I'll tell you what, if I finish this by the time we're finished the conversation and I'm drunk, then you'll know it's vodka. But the problem is, I'm going to give you guys a real big truth right now. Something that is fact. And everybody who really knows me will know this, but I am a big lightweight. Like, I am not a typical Scotsman. And there's a funny story to that, actually, because I actually had a Christmas night out with work on Friday, and I had one or two beers, and I just got a horrible headache and started to feel sick. So I wanted to stay out and have like an all-night drinking session, but it just didn't happen. Like, I just started to feel sick. That's what you call a lightweight. And my stories from Brazil drinking are legendary. Like, I will tell you privately some of the things that I got to when I was drinking in Brazil. It's a lot of good fun, put it that way. So yeah, a lot of people are. Somebody used to work in Tynecastle. Lindsay used to work in Tynecastle. That's awesome. Do you mean Tynecastle the school, or do you mean Tynecastle as in Hart Stadium? Capixabas or Polistanos? That's a diff. So Leonardo has asked me Capixabas or Polistanos. Now Polistanos are people from Sao Paulo. Capixabas are people from Espírito Santo. That's a difficult question. I think why I love Brazil so much is the people are really different from every state, like, and really totally different. So, in my opinion, from what I have experienced, people from every part of Brazil, like capixabas, are really, really different from people in the south, in Sao Paulo, in Curitiba, and these type of places. People are so different. So, I think that's why Brazil fascinates me quite a lot. So, I can't really choose one or the other. All I can say is I like both. But that's a cool comment, Leonardo, and it's a difficult one to choose. I love Capixabas because like uh, Espírito Santo is my home in Brazil. Um, so John Milne has asked me the Highland Day tours. How about Skye? I would love to do Skye, but I think I need really. So the Grand Tour of Scotland series, when I've been touring around Scotland in my car and like seeing different places, like I think it's a cool idea. People have said that I should go up to Skye, like places like the Isle of Skye, which is a beautiful place, and I've never really properly explored yet. The problem is it's far. It's like 4 or 5 hours drive, and I need like a couple of days off to do that. Like go up there properly, explore the place, take photos, and all that kind of stuff. So I will do Skye eventually. I just need some time. Like I need some time off work to go up there properly and explore the place, take some photos, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Skye is definitely number one on my list of places to do the grand tour of. So let's see the comments. Somebody has said, "Have I got a dog?" Yes, I've got 3 dogs. I've got one cocker spaniel and 2 sheepdogs. Cocker spaniel Shiloh, he comes in the vlogs quite a lot. Someone else has asked me, Anosh Cal has asked me, do I have any favourite books? Uh, I have a favourite book. I really love the movie and the book Life of Pi. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that, but it's a book that I really enjoyed. But let me say something that some of you will like and some of you won't like. But I'm not, even though my job, right? My job is to be a writer. I'm a writer. I write content like texts for lots of different companies. So I'm a writer, but I don't read many books. I read a lot. I read a lot of news and articles and kind of stuff about like the world affairs and all that kind of thing, but I don't read many books. I'm not a big book, especially fiction. I'm not a big book fan. Somebody says I should try another shot of Mark 1 whiskey. Oh, that is harsh stuff. That is like chainsaws down the throat. Um, the real baller says to me, what is the most scenic place in Scotland that you can get to from Wales? You want to punch the address into the sat nav and go, right? Well, when you get the borders are actually, so the border between England and Scotland, there's some really pretty scenery there. Like, I think they call it like Dumfries and Galloway. So that's probably pretty close for you in Wales, like 4 hours driving, I would imagine. Like, I would recommend you checking out Dumfries and Galloway, first of all. It's not that far. But obviously, if you have more time, I would highly recommend you go up to the Highlands. The Highlands are amazing. Uh, Leozinho asked me to say a full sentence in Portuguese. I might do that at the end of this clip. Right now, I need to work up my courage. So, so have I ever watched Harry Potter? Yes, I have. I love Harry Potter, just to keep you happy because books really like I struggle with books. I really, really do. Well, Tech, I'll be doing some lessons in Portuguese. So I don't really speak Portuguese to my wife that much. Like I don't know why. I think it's I feel a bit awkward speaking Portuguese with my wife, so we tend not to speak Portuguese together. But so I don't really take lessons from her in Portuguese. But that's not to say maybe one day, maybe we'll see. Anyway, more questions. Uh, Ambigos asked. I've got a really amazing question right now. Ambigos. Shaun, is Scotland nice with immigrants? I mean, I really want to live there. I'm Brazilian. Ambigos, thank you very much for that comment. That is a really great comment right now because there's this whole discussion about immigration right now across the world. I think we're facing a time where politicians who are anti-immigration are becoming quite popular here in the UK and America, obviously with Donald Trump. So I understand why people from around the world are quite probably anxious about traveling to Europe and America right now. I don't blame you, but Scotland is a little bit different. Scotland is a little bit different from the rest of Brazil. Brazil. See, I'm forgetting my words. I'm mixing my words up now. But Scotland is a little bit different from the rest of the UK because we are quite. Scotland is famous for being a really kind of welcoming, warm, and friendly place. So we welcome people in, Scottish and Irish people as well. and in general, I'm kind of generalizing here because there's obviously a lot of places you'll go in England and Wales as well are very welcoming. But in general, Scottish people are very welcoming. So in Scotland, you will not have a problem if you're an immigrant. I can almost guarantee it. I mean, of course, there are idiots here as well. There are idiots everywhere. But like in general, we're quite welcoming to people from all around the world. I guess the only difference is uh, for a Brazilian to come here, like people are just behave a little bit differently, and it's not that they are, it's not that they are not friendly or anything. They're just we kind of treat each other differently. Like we don't tend to hug each other as much. We don't hug and kiss like you do in Brazil. Like so there's a couple of differences, but it's not that we are not friendly or anything. So when you come here, it's just the fact that we're different. We're a little bit European, if you like. Europeans are a bit colder in general than they are in Brazil. Right. So what other comments have come in? I'm trying to catch up with them all. Right. Someone, Jean Paul Vitor Paula asks, do I like math? I really appreciate math. Mathematics is something that I find fascinating, but I am terrible at it. And here's the thing, right? When I was at school, I really wanted to be good at maths, but I was just terrible. It's just something that doesn't go in my head. And I think it's something about people who are creative. I class myself as kind of more of a creative type of artsy types of person. So I think people who are like that generally are not good at maths. But I do appreciate maths. I'm not good at it. Emily Marsden asked me how to meet my wife. That I'm going to cover that really soon in some vlogs. So yeah. All right. So B. Kleiner says, "Hey from Rio. What's happening in Rio? Rio is. Let me tell you guys. Now, everybody from around the world should know about this. But Rio de Janeiro is one of my most favorite cities in the entire world. My favorite big cities. Like I've done a series of vlogs from Rio before. Go and check them out if you haven't. But Rio is like a city I just find absolutely amazing. Where there's so much happening together, uh, and like it's such a kind of busy place with lots of cool people on the beach, and all that kind of stuff. So I really like Rio. I think Rio is an awesome place where you can have a lot of fun. You can go to the beach. You can like climb the mountains. I think Rio for me is like really uh, Rio is a place where you can see nature, see beauty, see a big city. I understand like Rio's got some serious problems, but that's just one of those things. But if anybody has never been to Rio, like, go. Like I think it's just an amazing place. Anderson says, "Hey Sean, I live in Serra. Yes, did you visit Serra?" Yeah, I was in Serra quite a lot. Serra is a city just outside of Vitoria. We used to drive there quite often. Appeared in the vlogs a couple of times. Actually, I used to drive from Vitoria quite a lot to a place in the north of Espírito Santo called Nova Venecia, and we used to pass through Serra. Serra is like the kind of obviously the road goes past there. Uh, Jalal Swat asked me how much time do I devote to vlogging. Uh, so the vlogging takes a lot of my time. I basically I spend all my weekends filming and probably 2 nights a week filming as well, and at least 1 or 2 hours every single night, five nights of the week editing. Editing is actually probably a longer process than actually filming. The filming is an easy bit because you just film as you're going about your life. The editing is really tough. So yeah, that's what takes up a lot of the time for vlogging. Someone says Brazilians are very welcoming. It kind of bothers me about how we treat foreigners like kings and get treated like shit by them. Yeah, like I understand what you're saying there. Brazilians are so. That's the reason I love Brazil so much. Is you guys are so welcoming. I had nothing but love and respect from the people in Brazil when I went there, and that's why I fell in love with the country so much. Because the people in Brazil are so nice, and that's why I love it. And I just felt at home there. Like people invited me into their houses. Like I just met them, and they were inviting me into their families. They were like, "Come and have dinner with us." I'd never met these people before. Sometimes, and they were like, "Come and visit. Come and be in my family. Come and have dinner with us. Come and have a barbecue. Come and meet my family. Come and meet my mum and dad." Like people in Brazil are amazing, and that's why I loved it so much. But I know what you're saying. You're saying that a lot of foreigners treat Brazil like quite badly. Like probably have a lot of things in their head that aren't true about Brazil. Like a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Preconceptions. The thing is, like, the people who have preconceptions about Brazil and other countries in the world as well. These people are small-minded, and you get them everywhere. And the thing is, they make comments about different countries, like Brazil, for example. The famous one that a lot of guys in Brazil, a lot of people in Brazil get really upset with is when foreigners think, oh, like there's monkeys walking around everywhere on the streets and stuff. But like, there's just people in Brazil just don't like. People around the world just don't really understand Brazil. That's the problem. Uh, and it's like an ignorance. Like people just don't get it. They've just never been to Brazil. They don't know what it is. They have no idea what it's like. So they kind of make comments like, yeah, they have no notion. So I don't think it's deliberately to be nasty to Brazilians. I think it's just people who don't understand. And I think Brazil needs to do a better job. Brazilians in general need to do a better job of uh, promoting Brazil in a positive light. Because like if you look at TV and stuff in Brazil and the kind of image that Brazil portrays itself on the media, there is a lot of stuff that's like girls in bikinis on the beach. Like that's the image. Even Visit Brazil, which is Brazil's national tourism agency, has promoted pictures of like just like ladies on a beach with bikinis on for to promote Brazil. Like I think that's a shame, and that's why people get a bad impression. But these people don't really understand Brazil. That's a problem. Luckily, I understand quite a lot because I've been there a lot, and I love Brazil, and I know Brazil is so much more than the misconceptions that that people understand. I'm trying to do my job on my vlogs of explaining Brazil better to people who don't understand. That's what I've been trying to do. And the thing is, like, when you travel, whether you travel to Brazil or whether you travel anywhere else in the world, or whether you're a Brazilian and you're traveling to other places, I think it's about respect. Like, people should come to a new country like Brazil and just be respectful of people, however things are might be different from where they're from. And the same for you guys when you're traveling. It's all about being really interested in the place you're going and showing a lot of respect for the people, even if they're different from the way you do things. Like that's the way. That's my philosophy. Like you need to go to a place with an open mind. Not that you shouldn't expect that places should be exactly the same as what they were where you're from. So yeah, I think people should be more open minded across the world. Pedro said he just watched my video about Brazilian whiskey. Yeah, that was a crazy video, man. Uh, yeah, that whiskey in Brazil. Whiskey in Brazil is quite bad. Let me be honest. Uh, yeah, I think somebody said they're learning English and plans to try the exams. The IELTS exam for English is an international exam in English. So Anderson, if you study that, like it doesn't matter where you go in the world. It's like it's the international standard. So uh, right, here's a question. Jessica has asked me. I love Brazil, but is there anything about Brazilians capixabas that I don't like? Uh, that's quite a big question. So anything about Brazilians that I don't like, I'm going to be really really careful here. Uh, I think Brazilians,
Wait.
if I have one, I've got a couple of criticisms, right? But they're just jokey, so don't take them too seriously. Uh, Brazilians are late for everything. Brazilians are late, so like when you go out to meet your friends and stuff, like they're like you kind of arrange a time before, uh, and then like an hour later people show up and it's like don't worry about it, everything's cool. But that's just like one of these things. Like where I'm from, people are much more kind of they get really stressed about time, so people like tend to turn up on time and stuff. But that's just like a cultural difference. It's not something I dislike about Brazil. I think it's funny, but it's just a difference, you know. It's not. And what else would I say? I think sometimes if there's another criticism I could have of Brazil, right? When I've been there in Brazil and I've been talking at a bar, and let's just say, for example, politics come up or something like that, something where there's like a contentious issue where people are going to be talking about the good and the bad. So people could be saying something, and even if I agree with what the people are saying in the conversation, I can't get involved because if I get involved and make my comment about what I think is happening, even if I'm agreeing with the other people on the table, I think Brazilians can get a little bit offended because I'm foreign and shouldn't really be talking about Brazil. And even if it's like I can't, for example, corruption. Like people don't like me saying, there's corruption in Brazil, for example, even if it's something that a lot of people are already talking about. So I'd like to know what you guys think about that. Actually, do you get offended if you hear anybody talking about somebody from abroad talks about Brazil, even if they're agreeing with what you're saying? Do you like that? Is that something you don't like? Let me know. Uh, Jack Cuthill, the vlogger from Edinburgh, has asked me, does Tekka like being on camera? No, she hates being on camera. That's why she does not appear on the vlogs very often. She's actually sitting next to me off the camera because she doesn't want to be on the camera. So yeah, I'm someone who likes to be on the camera quite a lot, and she doesn't like it. So that's why. But I'm trying to get her more involved in the vlogs. Like I do try, but a lot of times she says, "Oh no, delete that," because she doesn't like it. So Tekka is with me all the time in my vlogs, but you just don't see her because she doesn't like to be on the videos. So right, someone has asked me my age. Right, here's a fun game. Anybody want to take a guess what age I am before I let you know what age I actually am? Somebody has asked me what my age is. So like, have a guess first of all. Tell me what age you think I am, and I'll tell you. I'll let you know if you're getting close. I'll just let you think about that for a wee minute. Let's see if you can guess what age I am, because a lot of people get this wrong. I like that one. I like somebody said 23. Right, there's lots of questions coming in, all different numbers, small and big. Some are quite big. Oh, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. Oh, bingo! Jarrell Swat has got it. 29 years old. That's my age. I was born in 1987. My birthday is October 1987. So yeah, 29 years old. Not quite 30. And I'm I'm not 30 yet. I don't want to be 30. 29. So there you go. A lot of you guys I got some people saying I was 39 and other people saying I was 21. So yeah, lots of kind of quite a big range of times there. But yeah, I've got quite a young mind. I've got a young and an old mind. So like I'm quite mature in some ways and quite immature in other ways. So I don't know what that means. But so someone has asked me again when I'm coming back to Brazil. Definitely next year sometime. I just don't know exactly when at the moment because I'm doing a work contract right now. So I will be back to Brazil, but I can't tell you exactly when. But for sure next year, absolutely. And of course I will be vlogging about it. I don't know if you know this, but we have an apartment in Brazil. We have a house there and a car, which I'm not sure if we'll have a car next year. We might sell it in Brazil. But like, so we've got a life in Brazil. Like, so Brazil is obviously really, really important. And as I say, I'm going to do a new series on this channel all about my Brazil stories. I'm just going to kind of let you know like why I went there in the first place and what happened to me, how I met the people that I met, and how I got married and all that kind of stuff. So, excuse me. Well, that's a lot of talking, and it's made my throat really dry. So I'm trying to drink up. Uh, any more questions? I travel a lot. Am I optimistic about globalization based on what I've seen? Yes, I think that's a great question. Somebody has asked me about globalization. Globalization, it's a big topic. Like, right now, politics in the world are a bit messed up. A lot of people are saying because of the elections that have happened, like Donald Trump and Brexit in the UK, that globalization is dead. But I don't think that's the case. I'm very optimistic about globalization, and as someone who's travelled, like there's such a big group of people around the world from different cultures, different countries, who want to travel and want to see the world and want to be respectful as they do it, and it brings a lot of benefits to the world as well. I think your mind gets open when you travel, and it takes a lot of globalization takes a lot of I think it benefits every community. So I think that the debate, what's happening in America right now, a lot of people are ignoring one fact. So they're saying because Donald Trump got elected, that means more people are against globalization, more people are against immigration. But let's just have a look at this. Out of the Americans, out of everybody in America, 50% of people did not vote. Half the country didn't vote. Like, I find that astonishing. 50% of people in America did not vote. And out of the other 50%, 25% of those, or roughly, it was roughly 25% voted for Donald Trump, 25% voted for Hillary. So that is like, those two groups of people who voted one way or the other is like the minority. So 25% of people, even if every one of those 25% voted against globalization, like immigration and stuff, that is a minority of people. And I think what the challenge is in future, the challenge is going to be getting those 50% of people who did not vote, which are a lot of those people were young people, and in a case of a lot of people who just really dislike both candidates, which I totally accept. I totally understand that point of view. We need to somehow get that big group of people to be engaged with politics and actually want to change things, and that's when we're going to see globalization is not dead. It's just that right now the only people who are voting in America and in the UK are people who have got strong opinions, and the majority of people just don't care. I think that's what happened in America. I think the majority of people don't care enough to vote one way or the other. That is the majority. The majority of people did not vote for Donald Trump. The majority of people did not vote for Hillary either. The majority of people said, we don't like any of these people, we're not going to vote. So, yeah, that's my view on politics. Like, I think globalization is not dead. I think it's just like, I think what's happening is, yeah. That's a good. Jar also asked me, how is Scotland handling Brexit? There's a bit of conflict. That could get really, really political. If I answer that question about Scotland and Brexit, I think we're getting into serious political territory there. And I've talked politics on my vlog before, and it's really went downhill quite quick. But basically, Scotland. So basically, Scotland voted 60%, 62% of people in Scotland voted to stay in Europe, and the 62%, and the rest voted to leave. And that was a really different number, percentage-wise, from the UK. The rest of the UK, like England and Wales, they voted differently. So Scotland voted really differently from the rest of the UK in terms of what we want. Like, and I think that goes to show Scottish people are different from people from the rest of the UK in politics and stuff. And I think that sooner or later that is going to come to a head. I don't know what's going to happen, but sooner or later, I think something is going to flare up there, because the fact is, Scottish people should have a bigger say on Scotland. I think that's just basically where we're at right now. But the problem is, even though Scotland has its own parliament, has its own politicians and that, like, we cannot Scotland at the moment cannot control what Westminster does. Like, if Westminster decides that they're going to leave, the European Union, because that's what the majority of people in the United Kingdom as a whole voted, that's what will happen. Like, there's nothing at the moment. Like, the Scottish government are trying different things to stop it, but there's nothing really that Scotland can do at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. We'll have to see. So yeah, Barry, you're right, man. Talking about politics on YouTube is a bad idea, and I try and avoid it. So that's why when I've been talking about politics and stuff, like, I try and if you want to really know my thoughts, like, send me a message on Twitter or Instagram or like Facebook or something, and I'll give you my honest opinion about what I vote for and all that kind of stuff. But like, I've done it in public before, and like, it just alienates a lot of people, and I don't want to go down that route, because like, yeah, I want to change that subject. But if you want to know what I think, like, please feel free to drop me an email or a message, private message, and you can talk politics. But I just don't think. I think YouTube is like a place for. I think YouTube is a place for people to come to these type of vlogging channels for like escapism, like just to enjoy themselves. So like, I'm gonna try not to talk about that too much. Still drinking, and I'm still not drunk yet, so maybe not vodka. Right. I've got some more questions coming in. Leko Safe asked me what is my favorite movie, and I've got a lot of favorite movies, but actually I just saw a movie the other night there by Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks plays the pilot Sully, who crashed in the Hudson River in his plane a few years ago, Now, I love all, like, my favorite movies are all the movies with Tom Hanks in them. Tom Hanks is a legend. I love Tom Hanks a lot. I think he's probably my favorite actor, and like Forrest Gump, like that, just a classic. So Tom Hanks movies, I love. You know, that's what he's my favorite actor. Um, and I think that anything with Tom Hanks in them, like that's what I love to watch. So some more comments coming in about politics that I think I'm gonna. Uh, how do you say this guy's name? Taka. Isaac
Ezek-
Ezekias
Ezekias.
Ezekias. You're asking about what do I think about environment, education, garbage on the street and stuff. Like I think that's I can't criticize like too much. Like, I understand things are developing in Brazil and they're just different from the place I come from. So yeah, I think it's up to the Brazilian government to invest more in bringing the standard up for the majority of people. I think that's what Brazil really needs. The standard of people from lower income, their lives need to be improved. And if that happens, then the rest of the country will prosper. That's as simple as that. Like there's so many studies being done into that. Like you cannot deny it. Like I don't think I don't think people should. And right now in politics in Brazil is also very polarized. But like basically, we need to. I think across the world, this is a fact. Like every country who has brought the living standard of the poorest people up, they have increased their prosperity across the country. So yeah, I think it's up to Brazil's government. Yeah, it's important. Who picked? Jack has asked me who picked the Fiat 500. I'm digging it. Thanks, man. I picked the Fiat 500. I love Fiat 500s. That's my new car. If any of you guys haven't seen it, I was in Italy this year and I seen the original Fiat 500 cars, like the really old ones, and they're like amazing, amazing. Like I just love the design of the old Fiat 500s, and I thought, I'd quite love a Fiat 500. But let me tell you something. The first time I saw the Fiat 500 and I thought I want that was about 5 years ago. The Fiat 500 Abarth appeared on Top Gear. Jeremy Clarkson did a review of the Fiat 500 and like it looked amazing, and I just thought I want one of them. One day I want to buy a Fiat 500. So like over the last 5 years I've been thinking about buying one, and I've never taken my eye off that prize. Uh, so what other questions have we got? Sunday's talking about like foreigners speaking in Brazil, and like again, it's something I've talked about. But you're right. A lot of people who do not understand should not. People who should do not understand Brazil shouldn't really be making bad comments. But I think it's fair if people do understand what's going on in places like Brazil. Like it's time to engage and like, talk more about what's happening in Brazil. Like I think it's good for everybody to get involved in that discussion. Like not necessarily like politics. It's very easy to kind of cross politics and social issues when you're talking about places like Brazil, but I don't think it needs to be political. I think the issue of raising the standards for everybody in the country is something that is more important than just politics. Like I think, unfortunately, a lot of people play politics with these big issues, like like health and education, but actually it's so much more important than politics. Like I think once people in general realize that, then the more that yeah, people realize that things get better. So someone has commented about Hogmanay. Hogmanay. For all you people who are not from Scotland, you might not know what the word Hogmanay means. Hogmanay, I don't even know what it means really, actually. But Hogmanay is New Year's Eve here in Scotland. The New Year celebration is called Hogmanay, and every year we do like a huge party. And this year, every year we have a huge party in Edinburgh here in the city centre, and Princes Street gets locked out with like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people from the whole world come to Edinburgh to enjoy the party. And like I'm think like the last few years that I've been in Edinburgh, I have been to the street party at New Year. Um, so yeah, like I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I haven't actually planned like Hogmanay this year, but I would love to. I would love to do something. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. What are you guys doing on New Year's Eve? Have you got any plans yet? Have you made any? Are you going to go traveling anywhere, or what are you doing on New Year's? Like for me, it's like I need to wait and see. I'm really disorganized this year, so I'd like to know what you guys are doing for New Year's, and maybe it'll give me some ideas. Someone has asked a question about what's the most embarrassing thing that I have done. Oh, that is. I've done a lot of embarrassing things. A lot. Like I think I might need to take. I might need to take some time to think about the embarrassing things that I've done because I've done a lot. Like seriously, I've embarrassed myself so many times. But we were talking about alcohol a minute ago, and I've embarrassed myself with alcohol a lot, and that's probably why it's a good thing that I'm a lightweight and that I get sick nowadays because then I just don't feel like drinking anymore because like I've done some really stupid things. Here's an example. My first date in Brazil, I went out with a group of guys that I'd met. We went drinking, and they were drinking hard, like they were drinking cachaça shots, and I couldn't really keep up. But I tried to drink with them, and like I got so drunk, and I remember I went over across the street from the bar, and I I held onto a tree because I couldn't stand up anymore, and like after 5 minutes, the guys realized I wasn't there anymore. I wasn't at the bar, and they came over and rescued me. I was on a tree just to like hold on and stand up and not fall over. So yeah, like I have done some really stupid things involving alcohol. Uh, so anyway, so people are coming to talking about New Year's Eve. Lyric looks like a blast ceremony. Burning the Viking ship. Yeah, I saw that there's a party in Lyric, which is a city in the north, on one of the islands, I think, and they do lots of Viking stuff up there, don't they? So that would be fun. Actually, one of the things we do here in Edinburgh the night before New Year's Eve, is we do a torchlight procession, which is something to do with I think it's the clans or the uh, like the original clans who were in Scotland. I don't know. I think it's like I don't know exactly what it is, but we're doing the night before the New Year's Eve here in Edinburgh. We're doing a torchlight procession where everybody gets torches, which are basically like fire on a stick, and marches to the top of Calton Hill in the middle of Edinburgh. And yeah, like once we get up there, they set a big bonfire and make everything go on fire. So yeah, yeah, that's uh that's what we're going to do on the night before New Year's. I just don't know what we're doing on New Year's Eve. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up because it's getting late. It's now 11 p.m. here in the UK. It's quite late, and I have to get up tomorrow early for some work and stuff. But I hope you're enjoying the vlogs. Thank you very much for watching and putting your comments. If you want to ask anything else, like drop the comments down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Uh, and remember as well to follow me on my other social networks. Like I'm on Snapchat. If any of you guys are on Snapchat, follow me there. Shaun Vlog. Instagram. I love Instagram. Instagram is one of my favorite social medias these days. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. I'm very active on Twitter. A lot of you guys who are on Twitter will already know this. A couple more questions coming in. I might just answer them quickly. Leko has asked me what is my job. I'm a journalist. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So basically, I started my career off as a journalist, as a writer, and that's how I learned how to write. Nowadays, I write for companies. So I write stuff that ends up on blogs. I write stuff that ends up on social media platforms as well, for 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 um for lots of different types of companies. Basically, I write stuff that ends up on companies on their websites and stuff like that. So yeah, Marcelo, you've asked why have I left Brazil? I've not left Brazil permanently. I've just left for a short time because I am doing a 6 month job contract with a company, and I don't know what the future holds in terms of that job. So right now I'm in Scotland. So basically, for the last few years, I've spent like half of my time in Scotland, half of my time in Brazil. Like I don't really have one home. I have two. So even when I've left Brazil, I've not really left, and even when I'm not in Scotland, I'm not really left either. So like, Scotland and Brazil are both big parts of my home. But yeah,
Someone asked you to say scroll.
someone asked me to say squirrel. Yeah, that's funny. Squirrel is an animal here. I don't know if you have squirrels and wherever you are, right? But a squirrel is like a little animal. It's like a rat with a big flurry tail, and people say squirrel differently. This is depending on where you are from, but we say it differently. Squirrel. Squirrel is I guess in England people say it different. In America people say squirrel differently. So yeah, we that's how we say squirrel. Oh, there's a great comment. Something Gabriel Barreto said, "Is being a foreigner in Brazil difficult?" That is like that, if I can make like comment of the night, that is the comment of the night for me because like you guys know this already, but I love Brazil. I love it a lot. Brazil is like it's in my heart forever. But even though that's true, even though my family and friends are from Brazil, even though my wife is from Brazil, even though I love Brazil, right? Uh, I for most of my life I've lived in a different country, and I came to Brazil when I was quite old already. And to live in Brazil for the first time as a foreigner in a place where you're not kind of used to the culture, and then you're all of a sudden you're in it like all the time. You like for example, I've only ever spoke English in my life until I went to Brazil, and now I can understand Portuguese, but I still do not feel comfortable expressing myself in Portuguese. So like when I'm in Brazil permanently, sometimes it can get to my head a little bit. It just it's really difficult to explain, but as a foreigner in Brazil, there's lots of things to get used to because they're different, and it's not necessarily that these things are bad. It's just the things are different. The way people act, the way the kind of society is organized, the way the infrastructure of the country works. If I can give you some examples of that, is like when we go to the bank, for example. If we go to the bank in Brazil is really, really difficult. Like I've spent like half a day in a bank, in a queue, in a line, waiting for things to be done. And I find that really shocking. Like, because in the UK we're not used to that. Things if you go into a bank, yeah, you might get a little bit of a queue, but generally people are very efficient. And I think if you go into some things like banks in Brazil, they're really inefficient. So like that that is a type of things that is really hard for foreigners in Brazil. Is like going to do these types of things in Brazil. It's really really difficult. And sometimes I used to get so angry. I was in Brazil and like we needed to go to. Here's another example: cartorios. Cartorios really infuriate the hell out of me. Like we don't have cartorios in the UK. Like it's not necessary. You can just sign stuff whenever you need anything signed for. But in Brazil, you have cartorios, which is a register office. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like that's the correct translation. So in Brazil, for the guys who are watching not from Brazil, if you want to do anything in Brazil that requires a signature, any kind of documents, you need to go to the cartorio and like and get them to officiate your. You have to get them to officiate your like everything you sign, and it takes so long, and you have to pay them a lot of money as well to do it. And I find this just really it just annoyed me like a lot. But even like there's an old saying in Brazil. It's like in Portuguese, I think you call it custo Brasil or custo brasileiro or something like that. Is that right? Let me know. Uh, and it's like the cost of Brazil. Like this basically means it basically means like the price of living in Brazil, the price of Brazil, and like once you can accept that the price of Brazil is bureaucracy. That's basically it. If you can accept the price of living in Brazil is bureaucracy, then you can start to like accept the things that are different from other places, and it's not something that I got totally used to, like accepting bureaucracy. And a part of me always thinks like I wish I could change it. I wish I could make things less bureaucratic and like contribute, but it's impossible because it's like such a big place and lots of people and stuff. So uh, and the thing is like every Brazilian faces exactly the same thing, and every Brazilian, you guys know this. Like there's lots of things you guys struggle with in bureaucracy, like everything you need to do is bureaucratic. So like you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But as a foreigner who is never used to that kind of bureaucracy before, it was a big shock, and that was probably the most difficult thing about living in Brazil for me, the bureaucracy, because I just wasn't used to it. Uh, but as you say, you asked Gabrielle. Continue the question. Even if I had these difficulties, did I get acquainted with them? Yes, basically yes. Like over time, I realized that yes, things are bureaucratic, but I got used to them. There's some things that I might never get used to, and I'll always get frustrated about. But uh, I want to live a happy life, and I try and take the positives out of things. Like the things that I love about Brazil are so important to me, family and friends, the people in Brazil that I meet. So that is always more important to me than the other crap. But listen, I'm going to keep on answering the questions after this video is finished. I'm gonna sign this video off now, but I'm gonna keep answering them. So dropping the comments, keep dropping the comments down below the video after I've posted it, and I'll answer them on the text. Otherwise, if you wanna ask me any more questions as well, you can ask them on Twitter, ask them on Instagram, ask them on Snapchat as well, Facebook as well if you're on there. All my links are down below or up on the channel somewhere, so go and find them out. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on to my live chat. I'm going to do this every Sunday, as I say. We're going to talk more about lots of different things. What can I say in Portuguese that keeps you guys happy? Like, let me say a sentence in Portuguese. Let me have a think. What can I say in Portuguese? Give me some suggestions. Something I can say to you guys. Like somebody made me promise to say something in Portuguese before I go to bed. So I can say, bom dia, no. Politics. Oh, politics. I can't go there. Ok. Muito obrigado, gente. Eu te amo vocês. Uh, eu quero falar mais em português, mas eu tenho muito vergonha. Na verdade, eu tenho muito vergonha para falar português. Mas eu quero aprender melhor. So, there you go. A little bit of Portuguese for you at the end. A little bonus, right? What did you think of my Portuguese? Let me know. Into segunda divisão. Segunda divisão. The thing is, like I understand everything you say in Portuguese, so you can't troll me. Like if you tell me things to say in Portuguese that's like a rude word, I know all the bad words in Portuguese already. So like you can't troll me on Portuguese because I already know everything. The very first words, like the first words I learned in Portuguese were bad words. Like all my friends in Brazil were teaching me like bad words all the time. So muito obrigado vocês falando eu falar português bom. Eu acho não, mas muito obrigado e boa noite. I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining. Like, keep on watching my videos and subscribe. And if you think any of your, if you like all my videos, like share them with your friends as well. I really appreciate that. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed now. So keep your comments coming. I'm going to speak to you guys really soon. Have a good night. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you again. I will speak to you again really soon. Have a good night, guys.